or his only change was that you only get vision of the target when they're tracked up and not area around them. I can't remember if there's anything else from the bounty hunter, was there?
Yeah, they nerfed the gold gain for the whole team. I think it scaled from 50 to 150. Now it goes from 40 to 120.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think though bounty hunter was slightly getting shifted out of the first ban phase slowly over the last week or so anyway, because teams are starting to figure out how to play against it. At the end of the day, it is one hero that when it's missing off the map, if you play safe and you get your farm, it will become, I don't want to say rendered useless, but to an extent you can mitigate the impact that it would have otherwise. And Spirit Breaker, of course, also a very potent counter to bounty hunter, so we have a lot of things on the plate, man.
Templar Assassin.
Oh dear, here we go. Okay, that hero didn't get touched at all, man. I'm still very, very surprised because right now, TA and SF, and possibly Wind Ranger, top tier heroes.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, against, Anti-Mage sort of saw that flash of popularity where it's like, oh god, he's going to outfarm everyone by 30 minutes, he's, 6,000 net worth ahead of his counterpart kind of thing. Wind Ranger does very well against him. TA and Shadow Fiend kind of hold a similar position where they can flash farm pretty quickly in the early game as well, but oh my goodness, first picking the Templar. And what? Oh, Ogre! Okay! What did he get? A 1 armor buff up, and all of a sudden he's first pick material.
Yeah, the Bloodlust changed to the towers, man. There's I'm not sure if the pubs have caught on it yet because they're not really pub-friendly heroes, but Treant Protector and Ogre, they can keep a tower alive for like forever. Because you Bloodlust the tower, and then you Living Armor it, and then the tower just defends through everything. Yeah.
Try touching me now.
Yeah, well, interesting stuff.
Winter Wyvern got a pretty big nerf though, didn't he, with the AoE of his Winter's Curse. It no longer affects magic on you.
Yeah, so it's not, I mean, honestly, the retroactive aspect of it is kind of silly in my opinion still, where you walk in and it still affects you. It really should function like a Berserker's Call, where it's for that instance and it just grabs everybody in that instance. I mean, walking in makes it like so easy to just make a mistake, and like it punishes you so hard in the team fight, because in the team fight it gets hectic and people are next to each other, so the ability is still very potent despite the slight nerf. And I think it's a well-needed change because this hero right now it's in a very good place still.
Yeah, definitely. Game till end. Good at high ground defense, good zoning on the lane, everything in between. Digital Chaos though, opting to go for the Phantom Lancer as their second hero. His agi game got touched a little bit, but why would you go for a very early pick on the PL here? I mean, illusions can burn through refraction. I guess that's one thing to look at.
Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, Dota is a game of counters, and if you look at the PL hero, it's very good against both Ogre and Templar, because both heroes are single target focused. So, at the end of the day, it's if you ban properly, the PL is going to have a relatively good time, but that doesn't mean there aren't any more counters. I mean, Lestrak still destroys this hero, and it's still available in the pool. Lina is a similar thing. They nerfed her ultimate towards the end of level 3 by 100 damage, but with Aghanim, she still does pure damage, and a huge chunk load at that. And there's the Lestrak ban itself, so FireDota not willing to pick it up, but they will need some illusion clearers here.
Dire team pick.
AM taken out. Running a little low on options. Storm still fanned out there by Fire. Don't want that long range of zipping Electric Man looking for the pickups. But what role do you think this Ogre is going to be in? Because we did see for a little while off-lane Ogres, dual lane with the, Phoenix and things like that. Is this going to be like your 4-role support running around and trying to act as a zoning hero like the Naga used to?
I think so, yeah. I'm a firm believer of Ogre not being useful in the offlane at all. It's kind of like Bounty Hunter in the offlane, like they fall off too easily. But with the Bloodlust change to the towers, I'm not sure how crafty he can be. Regardless, if you do go for that Bloodlust option, you're not going to have enough damage to be relevant as a 3-position hero. So I figure this is really just a 4-position Ogre, or maybe even a 5.
In-game sounds quiet. Now, Digital Chaos. Where are we going to go with this one? There's no Rubik yet for Fluff and Stuff over on Fire.
Oh, right.
They've not picked that up just yet.
Actually, looking at it now, I bet Ogre is this hero.
Yeah?
They can do the exact same thing. I mean, you can't cliff people as much, but you can go around and just be generally annoying, right? You're tanky, you have a lot of HP regen, you have these nukes that don't cost too much mana for a strength hero. Yeah, this is definition of fluff hero right here. He's just going to run at people.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos. I was looking it up actually. Fire against DC. DC 2-1 them in the Nanyang American qualifiers. So that was.
Oh yes, yes, yeah. That was just before the ESL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That was
I'm actually surprised how little Digital Chaos have played.
You know, these guys play a lot though, eh? Like a lot of Dota in general. I think they're the most practicing team.
Okay.
Yeah, they play the entire day basically. They're very dedicated to the game, and if they stick, there's no doubt in my mind that they'll produce results. I mean, they have a TI winning player and a TI winning coach, so two TI winners, and that's a win in my book.
What's the highest TC placed?
Uh, I think was it top 8 with Liquid, top 9?
It's 10, I'm pretty sure. Maybe top 8, I don't remember. He's pretty good as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a very good player. I mean, there's been a time where like called him out for not being aggressive enough and stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, when you're inside the game, you look at the darkness of the map, and there is an innate fear of screwing up, and this game is all about capitalizing on mistakes. So you have to be careful at times. Now, Legion Commander, that's actually one of the known lane counters to PL. I had a chance to play against one earlier. The moment of courage change, I didn't fully understand it when I read the patch notes. For some reason, it seems to trigger like much more fluently. Like I was trying to manfight a Legion, and it almost felt like he attacked me 3 times in a row. And of course, the overwhelming odds getting a better cooldown is something that was needed for a while. I mean, 18 seconds is, you can't really cast it twice in many situations. So overall, with the 4 base damage bonus, this is a good lane counter to PL, and I'm not sure how well it does against Bane, because the Enfeeble is going to be pretty potent against something like Legion. But if they do decide to run that, they can clear out the illusions at least in the laning phase. And DC, going for the static link option as well against the Legion Commander, all these right-click heroes like TA and Legion, pretty susceptible to damage deal.
And Bane, he got buffed pretty hard, I feel. Brain set mana cost, that was like always an issue for him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like in sort of increment bit by bit, it got like drops by 25 in a previous patch a little bit earlier on. But now, scaling from 70 to 160 instead of having that 100 at level 1, it's going to be so much easier just to try and trade hits and trade with brain stamp. That option as well.
For sure.
Clockwork, Queen of Pain, the final bands out there. Both of these teams, I mean, Clockwork, yeah, could be that long-range initiator from Digital Chaos. They are missing that hero that can sort of jump in. But Fire, where are they looking to put these heroes? Because Legion Commander, you know, could be up on the top lane and you farm her up decently, but more likely going to be the off lane. Lina Ogre, is that going to be your sort of support duo? Stack a few camps with Lina, run around with the Ogre? Because Tiny picked up as your primary one role, possibly here. And now he can cast his combo at level 2. Potent damage dealer.
Yeah, the int buff is actually pretty big because, as you mentioned, one of the traditional problems with this hero was that in the early game, he always needed stat items, and of course, stat items are still good on this hero because they build incrementally. But right now, you can sort of try to bypass like getting too much regen on the mana department or whatever. They also buff Mango; it's cheaper now, and you can cast it easier. So there's that too. But this is mainly their anti-illusion brigade hero right here. With the Tiny, he'll be able to fight up the PL in the mid-late game, and he's also very, very tanky. And DC, if you look at their lineup, they don't have too much burst. They rely on an extended team fight where they can control with the initiation, but I'm not too sure if their initiation is actually stronger either. Their supports are very good though. I mean, Bane Wyvern, it's a really, really powerful duel. So if they can control the lanes from the start of the game, they can change the pace of the game in their favor.
Please. Please. Change the captain's name. Yeah? Sleeping. Doing something else. Yeah. But yeah, Spirit Breaker is going to be Bulba's hero up in the top lane. The Clockwork, kind of a respect ban. Getting rid of that one, not allowing Bulba to have his signature hero over there. Well,
5 seconds.
the other dogs, because Breaker's got a lot of HP, a lot of armor. The Tiny with the Ogre Lina.
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
Yeah, coin.
Hey, that's kind of interesting. Boots first, side blades first as well, no refraction. What's the reasoning behind that one?
This is the standard TA build now. It's the matchups with the Templar Assassin has developed to the point where, well, actually, as you say that, you mentioned boots, right? This is definitely something I'm not used to either. I think he must have anticipated the Razor, because you want to outrun the Link.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Either way, the boots kind of, I mean, he's not going to get much in this lane as long as it's a dual lane and his teammates don't help him. So boots or not, I don't think it makes too much of a difference.
Already popped up, and AUI's not leaving this lane anytime soon. I'll get burned up in another 3 seconds. Definitely gonna get up in space. TA, we think the 2 players coming in. Yawa, also. Got that Phantom Lance, can actually try and chase down this Tempo Assassin if they wanted to, but he just very, very focused on last setting and getting the CS, which, if you look across Jo, 82, while the Razor is 5-1. They're getting forced back a little bit by the Ignite from Whitebeard. Move went for the overwhelming odds level 1 as well, but they've got the stacking and pulling available from their support, so they can actually drag back the lane equilibrium and force the Legion Ogre into a position where they can, you know, maybe dive the tower because they're so tanky and they've got this 8 armor, 663 HP hero on the front lines. Like, Ogre is honestly ridiculous. 64 base damage as well. He can just run people down all day long.
Yeah, it's very, very tanky hero. You can see even with the Stout Shield. I mean, even without the Stout Shield, he would be so resilient to damage. Just noting on what AUI did here, I'm pretty sure this is what's going to become of the meta. These dual lane mids, with the bottle giving less HP and all these heroes having a transition to like more farm-oriented styles, what's going to happen is these supports like Skyrats and Winter Wyverns that can be very, very efficient at level 1 with their spells to harass the enemy mid laner, they're just going to camp here. And they'll take the bottle from their carry and go for the rune instead of bottle throwing. So it also gives them more regen or more opportunities for a regen. And their carries would get solo EXP in the meanwhile. So this is like maximizing the potential of the lane itself. And again, I'm not sure if Fire are taking this approach correctly. Like this dual lane for them scales better than the TA itself. So unless they're getting like massive amounts of ancient stacks in the woods or something, they really need to rotate some support. But at the same time, I'm not sure if it's plausible to rotate Alina. And Whitebeard kind of has to be here for pressure at the bottom lane. So
And another hero down to bottom lane. Look at Whitebeard hiding in the trees. Oh, they can find Fury.
Susie's dead.
Mid lane. Oh boy, one more hit. Doppelganger over the cliff. There we go. Yawar gets his real hero in there. Down at bottom. This is what I was looking at. Whitebeard wanted to maybe go for the aggressive play with Alina, but Nightmare taken off. I pressed the attack and dispelled out. Bluffing stuff really hasn't found anything to do. He's not stacked. He's not pulled. He's really just moving around trying to find a lane he can sit in.
Yeah, I don't really know about this 5 position Lina. This hero definitely, just between her stiff animations and stuff, she really wants to farm, get Yules, and be a threat. The reason why she used to be so popular as the first pick is even if the core Lina wouldn't work out because the enemy picks TA or something and counters your mid Lina, you can just support her and she could still transition to being a super strong force in the mid late game. But with 5, it's I mean, you just don't get anything as 5 most of the time, and she's gonna camp here at the bottom rune here, and of course Beer, you probably won't challenge 2 heroes, but in terms of a follow-up, I don't know what direction does Fluff have for this game. We'll have to see to find out. Oh, and Biryu actually, he went for it.
Oh, nice try, correct. It's gonna be a kill. He doesn't have mana for a brain sap. Another 25 and he's dead. Get the kill over on him.
That was cocky. Yeah, I don't know. Like he has the ward, and I guess he saw the Lina rotate out, so he thought he could do it. But that was like a cheeky attempt, because for sure the Lina would come back if his teammates slept. You know, it's Well, at least he steals the double damage, I guess. I don't know.
The thing is, though, up at top lane, Spearbreaker actually killed off the Tiny. Level 2 Greater Bash. Not sure how this happened, but
Wait, really? Was it a solo kill or? Oh no, AUI came in to assist. Okay. Yeah, this hero is actually, I don't know, Winter Wyvern. People are starting to figure out that with boots, there's so many more things you can do. Like, just ganking the silence. Look at the damage he has. He does 180 damage with the Splinter Blast, and it's like a 800 to 1000 cast range and 500 radius, so you can't really miss in the early game. And then he flies over the terrains with Arctic Burn, and it guarantees like a specific number of damage as well. You can see the health burn, it's 8%. It's gonna do like 40% of life points always, so ganking just becomes so easy for this hero.
Setting up a bot lane again though. Whitebeard fluff and stuff. Fury walks into it, sees them, and runs himself back. The spammed gank has been stopped in his tracks pretty much. You can see again, like you said, AUY heads up the lane again. Jo has been left alone to his own devices up here, hiding away back in the trees. He has a mango and face boots. He has no HP regen. He can go further back to hide himself because they've seen AUY without Observer Ward.
Yeah, honestly though, DC are winning on all fronts. They're getting the right amount of CS on the Razor. Their PL is, I want to say he was free farming, but his CS count isn't that high. I guess that's kind of a inadvertent result of just being in the middle line. But SP is getting a lot as a whole, and most importantly, the enemy carry is not farming at all. So this is a total win for DC for the time being. And now finally the rotation comes out with a smoke.
Charge forward, Tiny Avalanche onto 2, stops the charge as well with the toss. They've got AUI caught. He has Arctic Burn, gets over the trees, he finds himself a spot, but it's not deep enough. Still stunned up. I'll find the kill on him. But though, he's level 6, he's got himself his treads. Looking pretty good actually, you know, could start charging around the map, looking for kills maybe on this Templar Assassin. Fire. It's of a deficit here in terms of actual control of their own lanes. You've got 3 Radiant heroes on the side of DC, hitting their level 6s already, and the wraparound on bot. Moo, nightmared up, but no control long enough. And Bulba, I guess he TP'd in and then didn't charge.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm glad to see that he actually clicked the salve properly though. I think many players have already experienced the case where they mangled or salved themselves in a situation they didn't want to, or even clarity, because of the change. Now you have to control click it like the bottle. So, glad to see that he helped his TC friend there with the solve. And honestly, that smoke by Fire was a really, really good one. It's like 6-7 minutes in. It's so hard to scout out like 2 supports at level 3 that are missing, and you just assume they're in the offlane still. But if they're missing for an extended period of time, you just don't know where they're going to appear. Whether is it mid, or are they just camping bottom still, or are they going to show up at top? And I think they realized that to an extent, which is why AUI and Bulba started backing, but it was a little too late.
The thing is, they have to do this though, right? Like, they've got to go, oh, he doppelgangers, and he gets up on top of the cliff. Yawa, a little bit lucky with the RNG of his doppelganger.
Yeah, that was... I'm pretty sure he could have landed with like 2 illusions down there if he was unlucky, or... Yeah, he was very far from the hill there, so that was very, very lucky.
Godlike plays, godlike plays. Oh boy, we missed a kill down at bot. The dive. Find the Legion commander. TC takes runs the damage from the tower. Kill. They've left Jo alone a little bit up at top lane, and phase boots on Tiny. This was like the build for a long, long time. Phase drums.
Yeah, phase boost drums. Yep.
Yeah. Go for the full movement speed. Then with a lot of people going into the treads, then going into your Ags and AC. Then Blink Dagger became very popular just to have that jump capability. Why do you think he's gone back to the phase here? Is it chasing the Spirit Breaker?
I guess part of it has to do with the burst movement speed it gives now, like the 24% when you pop it. Maybe it allows him to chase for that instantaneous moment kind of thing. But I mean, personally, I don't see how anybody plays this hero without attack speed. That's just my opinion. I love the treads on him. I love getting stats items too, but I'd really prefer just building him to a carry as soon as possible. And from what I've experienced, phase kind of disables that. It allows you to run at people better and use your combo, but nowadays people buy Blink as well, so I'm not sure if that's entirely necessary.
Have you seen No Tails build on Tiny? The butterfly.
Yeah, it's always treads first, right? And then he goes into Aghanims, Butterfly.
Yeah.
Today he went BKB, I think.
Switching it up, and he's gone for like a Blink Dagger. He's tried the Treads Drums and like the sort of regular build nowadays, Treads Drums, Aghanim Scepter. but when he can, he does love that Treads, Aghanim's Butterfly, Satanic or Heart build, and it's actually pretty cute, because the Butterfly gives you a similar effect as the AC, but also that evasion up against physical right-click carries like great.
So I think it's a generally accepted belief amongst the pros that the best tiny inventory always involves an early Butterfly. Like it's a luxury item, because if you can get it, you get it. But most of the time people settle for AC. And I think AC is, in most game scenarios, I think it's just as fine.
Lane the Nightmare with the static links. Fluff was waiting over in the trees, but another strike will catch him. Jo wants to combo up Ryu and he'll find it. No, wait, what? The Brain Sap keeps him alive and now healed up with the Cold Embrace. They get the kill on Delina and the turnaround. Winter's Curse, Jo, he's dead to the Splinter Blast. Nope, doesn't even hit him in time. Whitebeard will get chased down as well, and a triple kill out from TC. The TPs came from Fire thick and fast, but it was just so much control from DC.
Yeah, and honestly, that's just a product right there of heroes not getting the levels they need and supports getting more levels than they should. AUI coming in with level 6 at 10 minutes, of course that's somewhat of a preferred standard these days, but it's not easy for a dual laning Wyvern at the middle lane without farming stacks or without having their carry give stack EXP or lane EXP. And he was so successful rotating around going for that top kill, and he just ended up sitting there the whole time even after he died once. So he got a quick level 6, and of course Jo getting zoned out on his own safe lane for an extended period of time makes him lose a lot of EXP on its own. And he could have gotten the burst kill there before AUI came in if he had another level in the toss. So.
Well, Susie gets some stacks. Double stack up here of the Ancients should be a good burst of gold. That puts you even closer to your Desolator. You have saved up 1200, but oh boy. TC with a Midas, 11 minutes in.
Yeah. I think it's a good choice for this game. They have, you know what? They do have superior late game actually. Yeah, they have more stuns that go through BKB. They have more heroes, more presence in general with the Phantom Lancer in play. I think this is the right choice.
Goes with it. Whitebeard up at top, still sticking around, but Bulba. Tanky cow. We've even got Fluff trying to get experience from this Ancient stack, but it's already gone. It's all dead. In this kind of game, you've got a bunch of heroes here from Fire that are pretty good at initiating. They've got good burst damage. But they don't really have a good sort of sustain hero, right? They don't have someone who naturally builds into the mech, or a Medallion or a Solar Crest, the utility items you kind of expect. There's some good, glimmer heroes. Maybe we see Whitebeard go for the Arcane's mech himself. But a lot of it is about getting the pick off, getting the man advantage, and trying to control fights that way, I feel, from Fire. You've got the duel, you've got the traps to slow and chase people down after you get that one pick off.
Yeah. I would actually say Fire's peak and their power spike is just after TA gets Desolator. And honestly, it's right about now as well. When Tiny hits level 8, level 9, when his combo is the strongest, you really want to take advantage of that when the enemy's intel heroes don't have the most life points. But as you can see, this Wyvern's already level 7, 900 life points on him with just 1 magic stick, 4 stats. And of course, the Bane itself is a naturally somewhat tanky hero, and Templar Assassin getting picked.
In a ton of trouble, actually. Susie, no chance of survival, and the curse. Whitebeard, he came in to save the Templar Assassin, but he gets ripped apart as well. Digital Chaos, one after one. Their movements have been sublime. Meticulously moving around the map, finding not only the ganks that they want to make, but also counteracting the ones that Fire are trying to get a foothold in this game. They'll also take the tier 1 mid. No cliff. Point Jo scrambling down a bot lane to try and farm himself up after the drums. See what he goes into next, but move. Dagger nowhere near. This Legion Commander really doesn't have anywhere to go. He can try and farm the jungle a little bit, I guess, but keeping control of that is going to be so difficult against Bulba. He's just charging around the map looking for kill after kill. Fluff and stuff. Oh, you don't have time. You turn back to get some creeps, but you're dead. Another strike still on cooldown with a stun there. You may be able to slow this down, but one more hit. No, Jo has the combo and they don't find it. Lena gets herself back to the tier 1. Yawar. Lance out. Moo has overwhelming odds. Not quite enough damage. The toss.
Oh,
no, he doppelganger dodges it.
Nice.
The timing of that.
The funny thing is a lot of PLs at this point, they'll have some levels of stats, so their doppel will be lower level. Just imagine that, eh? If he had one more stat, he would have not had the level 2, level 3 doppel, and he wouldn't have been able to doppel out of that toss.
Did it just come off cooldown?
I think it might have been a second or two, but basically it's like the 5 seconds was absolutely necessary. So, really nicely done by them. Again, I think DC's strategy from the beginning of the game by the draft, it's well catered to fight what Fire is throwing at them here, and they're putting out the fire relentlessly and efficiently. Simply put, I don't know. They've already taken 2 tier 1s. They're not giving up any other objectives, and I'm not too sure how much the Roshan control is available for them because the TA doesn't have Desolator yet. But when she does, they have the ultimate to deal with it as well.
DC is going straight into his Acronym Scepter, and they're looking to take another tier 1 down at bottom lane. He's got the point booster over on the Courier. Yeah, it's being carried over to him right now. But bottom tier 1. You try and defend this as Fire?
I don't know, man. Like, it's 161 HP tower. You don't know where any of the heroes from DC are because you don't have any wards in their woods. The only thing you see is that top lane, and they have plenty of vision there for now. But again, TA's there. Nobody's really going to contest her. Yeah, I don't think you hold. I think you just run. But
Jo.
There's a slight chance they want to try to do something.
Jo is here. He wants to defend Fluff and stuff, but oh my goodness, that damage. Whitebeard, they want to fight this. They're actually TPing the Legion Commander in with a stun onto AUI. He's got Winter's Curse, so he could throw this down on the Tiny, whose Fiend's gripped up. Curse is there. They've got him trapped in. Moo gonna wail away at the Tiny, and Susie's come in, but no, that's not where you want to be. Running into death. Destruction as the PL chases you down with the Lancers and Illusions. They've lost the Spirit Breaker in the back to the toss from Tiny, and Jay will get healed up and saved by Moo.
Oh, the multicast.
Dual win. Moo gets one. They lose their tower. They've still held the tower. Sorry, they've still held the tower. They've lost a couple of heroes here. And they're still looking for more. TC stunned up, Focused up, Life Striker 8, and Laguna Blade. They've actually held this. Even though they lost their TA, they'll deny up the tier 1. That's decent.
Yeah, honestly, it turned out alright, and I gotta say, the main reason for that is because DC, they really overextended. I mean, 161 HP tower didn't take a single hit from the heroes. They Fiends gripped up one of the heroes retreating, and AUI, Wyvern ultied, follow up, and then they kind of baited themselves in, because what happened was all those heroes were like 50% HP, but Moo had really good positioning at the back line to just spam press the attack on whoever got gone on. And DC, they got multicasted under the tower on the Wyvern, so he fell to the dual damage as well. And honestly, just a classic case of overextending. If they just kept their lead after the Lina kill, responded to the ports appropriately while killing the tower, I think it would have been a lot better.
Okay, because they've got that Splinter Blast, pretty good cooldown, just spam it out.
Yeah.
Force fire back. I'm with you on that, PL. BOTs though. 0-2, 17 minutes in, still going for the regular old build, no reason to change what is not broken. What next though?
Actually, I think this build's gonna change. I'm pretty sure it is. It's I'm not sure if you've ever played it, but it's not good. I know Aggressive, top 2 TI, this is his main build, and I know a lot of people feel the same way about how strong it is, but this is a 7k net worth PL, and you look at his inventory, Durka, like, what does he have really? When you play PL with these items, you don't feel strong at all. Simply put, the only thing that you got going for you is that you have max doppelganger, and that's what really makes the hero right now. And I'm not sure if it's treads, I'm not sure if it's just not buying drums, I'm not sure if it's SNY. It's a work in progress for me personally, but this is definitely not it. And I'm sure of it at this point. It's not that strong.
It's very, well, it's identical, right, to the Ember Spirit build, where you've got the build up into the Battle Fury.
Yeah.
But I guess the Battle Fury then allows you to farm a lot more clean.
Yeah, Ember's a bit different too, right? Because he has Sleight of Fist, and he has Chains, which lets him play super aggressive, and the mobility helps him because he has Remnants to synergize. But this hero, so the bots is mainly there to just help you get around, because movement speed is actually not an issue for this hero per se. You have Phantom Rush, you can get on top of any hero you want with illusions as well. But it's something that's kind of like people got used to. But I think it's gonna change. I know for a fact that there's a lot of carry players that are experimenting already because they feel the weakness of the build. Mm-hmm. But in time, I think SNY is actually the item. I haven't figured out how to get it.
We've seen a lot of builds on PL over the days, you know.
Yeah.
The old Soul Ring Thankful Radiance build. Oh god, AUI's been caught. Winter's Curse will try and give him a route out, but Bulba's going in. Bulba's going in, gonna bash up Legion Commander, but what else? Susie's been caught with a Fiend's Grip, but this is a pretty good fight with fire. They can turn around here and try and get some damage out. Whitebeard's been sapped up by the Static Link and the Brain Sap. But he's not going to die just yet. Jo. Bulba wants to go in for a secondary time here and bashes Jo on the noggin, and the Nether Strike will finish him off. Susie slowed to the melt. Nope, there's the dust and the damage out from DC. It looked like maybe fire could quell the advance forward, but turned around.
They simply don't have they don't have enough spells and enough items to deal with the push coming out of DC right now. Again, so many ultimates just not only go through BKB, but just so much control overall. And the biggest problem right now, I would say, is the PL. Just overall, the presence of the hero. Like, you can clear its illusions out once with the overwhelming odds and the tiny combo, but as you saw, like, they can just chase relentlessly right after with a secondary charge, and they have no response for it. Just they don't have enough spells and enough items. There goes 2 towers. And again, the game is looking hugely in DC's favor for the time being.
I really thought that when the Phoenix Grip kind of came to nothing and they managed to help that initial hit from DC, that Fire would back themselves up and try and play a similar game to what they did at the bottom tier one. But they literally turned to face. They wanted to try and get their spells out. Sure enough, another duel win out for your Legion Commander, up to 24 bonus damage. And not going for the Blink Dagger. Actually, heading into I'm assuming Shadowblade here.
For this game, I don't think I can really question what item choices he goes for. I think this game, if he blinks in, he'll die. And the game's developed here from the laning phase, how it went is like, because all the towers are down, they really they're starved on map control. They kind of have to stick as 5. It's very hard to get the single pickoffs against that kind of team, because the ideal targets you want to go on are PL and Razor, or Bane. Because well, pardon me. The ideal targets you want to lock down are PL and Razor, but really you have to go on the intel supports. You have to go on the Bane and Wyvern, because if they get their spells off, SB is going to follow up, and the carries will do too much damage in the fights. And again, like, what scenario do they have where they can just isolate like 3 heroes top and then separate the Legion +1 at the bottom to have a playmaking scenario? They can't. They don't have enough damage to burst down targets and get out safely. So they have to play for a 5-man, and I think Move figures that if I want to duel anybody, I will need some sort of initiation item, Blink or Shadowblade. But Shadowblade will at least let me farm and get around the map. So I guess that's his option. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be enough regardless. I think Shadowblade on Legion this game, it's not going to do anything because actually I'm looking at the Bane now. He doesn't have any points in Enfeeble, but when he gets that, the duel is going to do 0 damage anyway.
That's the thing though. I'm looking at these 2 supports, and you mentioned that their spells are vital in these team fights for DC to pull through. But if Legion Commander duels anyone, like anyone on the DC side, Cold Embrace, there's Nightmare. Like, there's always going to be one support, hopefully in range for DC, that can actually get off one of those spells that pretty much just counteracts the duel altogether. Like, okay, it's still going to be the disabled, but you're not going to be doing damage. You're not going to be doing too much. A big pink arrow, exactly what we want to see. His entire screen, beautiful.
I wonder if that's a graphic error actually. Maybe it's a reborn thing. I don't know. Anything could be a reborn thing, but nevertheless, the Legion Commander as a hero, it's a hero in experimental stages for everybody for sure, except NIP. They'll pick it all the time, but I don't think they find too much success with it.
Jonas and fan loves it. I mean, they won the other day. They've been on a pretty good roll, beating Empire, beating Alliance, but they've actually been doing pretty well with the Legion Commander. But they run.
It's their hero. I mean, they've been playing for the longest time. I think they understand the hero better than anybody else. But I don't know if it's that hero that you really can fall back on as a 3 every single game. If anything, I expect Batrider to come back soon. It's that hero. That's a hero.
I mean, Nips still love their Axe as well. Like, very few people play Axe.
Yeah, I think Axe is good too. I mean, it got a lot of nerfs, but it's still viable.
Juicy has Desolator. 1 and 4. Roshan obviously is still standing. But at this point, Digital Chaos, they just reset, go back to their lanes, and they know that they don't give the room to head into the Roche Pit. A smoke is really the only way for the TA to get in there, and once she's off the map, you know that she's not a threat. Not going to be pushing into tier 1 towers, not split pushing. You're holding onto all of your tier 1s at this point as the Radiance. Every single tower is pretty healthy actually. 20 minutes in, there's been no big push in. Fire has always been on the back foot.
Just goes to show the map domination that DC put on them from the first minute. And as you can see now, the result of the Midas is that TC at 21 minutes has something similar to like what an anti-mage would want in terms of farm, or what a carry that can actually farm. Razor's not a carry that can farm that well. You can spam ultimate all you want and farm in the woods as efficiently as possible, but it's not a cleave hero. It's not a TA type of hero. So it's good to see that he's at the top of the net worth. It's very well done by him.
Yeah, definitely. Very often we look at carries that have been under a little bit of pressure, and he hasn't really. Still 5-1 and 6. He's got a couple of kills to his name. Good old net worth on him. Oh man, let's put jail. and he's just straight up. Nope, press the attack. Still dead. And then the strike from Pulver makes damn sure of that. Well, Striker A will miss him. Coming in, Yawa, yeah, Boots of Travel. I thought it was a dire TP going onto the tier 2. But they'll just sack this. Give up on it. Whitebeard's up at top with no teleport scroll. The rest of Fire just basically scramble to get themselves away from here because they know tier 1's gone. They're not going to push high ground just yet.
I think they can just, I think they can Rosh. Actually, they might be afraid of, yeah, they have Medallion. Of course, it's slower now. And it's always a risk too when you're going up against the dire side. But yeah, you know what, never mind. They're just going to back. I think Rosh would have been a tough call. It's something that they could have forced for just like a bait kind of thing where they force a fight there and they would win the fight because they're ahead right now. But taking the Rosh itself, I mean, PL is not a good Rosher because he spawns illusions and it makes it clap the entire team. And Razor obviously is not a good Rosher.
We'll see after the next team fight if they do have themselves in there. What do they have on the Bane now? Earn Tranquils? I guess he's been buying all the orbs and things like that, allowing for AUI to get into his next big item. I'm guessing he just goes straight Solar Crest at this point. He's not gone into the cloaks for the Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Solar Crest is like, I mean, I'm not sure if it's necessary this game, honestly. The -7 armor is plenty good enough for any target that PL wants to focus. And Glimmer Cape just makes like their fight so much more stronger because despite how good Solar Crest is, they're like right now they have all the answers in the world to the TA right clicks. Again, they have so many ultimates that go through BKB and just ruin her timing. They have Static Link, they have Enfeeble in time, they have Nightmare, they have Cold Embrace. I'm not sure if Solar Crest is necessary, but looking at his gold, yeah, I think he might just finish it.
Where he goes, this might be the time though. Suzy's got the Blink Dagger, so you've got the jump capability there from the Templar Assassin, and maybe you can, Shadow Blade in with a nice duel from Moo, blink Meld Strike onto someone like AUI or Biryu and actually take them down before the fight proper begins. You're also just trying to buy time for Jo actually. 270 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter, but without too much attack speed. Are we going to see the full sort of revert to the old build where you go Yasha, or do you need the AC here as quickly as you can with a Hyperstone? Because armor is, I feel armor here is imperative for the Titan. 3+4, sitting on 7 armor against Medallion, PL, and Razor. Maybe Yasha would be good for him.
Well, I mean, I have no doubt that Yasha is good. I just think that he's going to need like 10 Yashas worth of items this game at this point. He is really behind on farm. 8k, I mean, his inventory doesn't look bad at all. But you compare it to the Razor and what the PL has now, he needs a lot more for the fight.
He's down looking for the traps. Really putting a lot of control around this Roche pit and grouping up to a sneak peek at the Ancients, but they've already been taken out by the Dire, and to be fair, for the past 4 or 5 minutes or so, Fire have split themselves up and really dodged fights very well. Sure enough, they've lost tier 2s and they don't have any good ways of pushing past the river. To actually go and take tier 1s of their own. But Shiva's Guard, TC. That's going to be a great item for pushing up high ground. Clear out creep waves, the attack speed slow, the nice little Shiva's effect as well coming out to try and stop Fire blinking in even.
I figure AC would be better for this game. I mean, he doesn't really need to slow anybody's attack speed. Again, all the physical damage mitigation is on their team. But, I mean, Shiva's is never bad. I think Shiva's is actually the most cost-efficient item in the game. Shiva's on the AC, not really a close second, but yeah.
The big items on there.
Yeah, Shiva's, I mean, for the small items, it's probably Branch.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say, that was my punchline, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know if you...
Branch is the king. You can't mess with that little boy.
Can't go wrong with 6 GG branches at level 1, but you probably want some like Tango and a Mango in there.
Go under Mango. Oh, move.
Yeah, Moose caught.
Oh, dearie me! The spam pings like, guys, I think they see me coming up here.
Yeah, so this is the double-edged sword aspect of the Shadow Blade. I mean, that path that he took is also like a very common D-ward location. And if there's anything that DC is really good at, especially Biryu, is that their warding is always spot on. You'll notice that they always have the craftiest of wards. I mean, this game, it's nothing too exceptional so far. But they love their deep lane wards and deep wood wards. And you'll probably see a demonstration of that next game, I would imagine. But generally speaking, yeah, that's. I think Moo figured he needed to get something done, and in the end, he ended up giving his life and probably Roshan as a result too.
Yeah, they wanted to pull a combo because the TA was actually sitting
Queen's top tower
far
has
away from the
fallen.
Legion. They wanted to go in with the Legion, blink with the TA, and a quick pick, and then maybe go into the Roche pit if they scout out one hero, realize they've got the advantage, keep the rest of the people in, and it would have been this sort of chain effect where Fire gets one advantage, turns it into a pretty damn big one. But in the end, they lose Legion, and they have to give up the Roche over to their opponents. So DCTC has Aegis of the Immortal on the Razor now, and he is freaking. Is being delivered. Yep, there we go. Give us guard on your Razor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is their timing. I think Ywar just picks up Diffusal level 2 and just goes. I don't know if he wants to sell something for a Reaver, like a... Yeah, looking at him right now. Okay, he bought the Reaver, yeah, so he's gonna go hard. Again, I don't know if anything else is necessary. With the Aegis and the Shivas, I think they just abuse the timing they have and go. Because the longer this game holds out, even though they are stronger, the more tools Fire will have at their disposal to fight them. Because late game Tiny is no joke against PL, and late game TA is no joke either.
It goes back to the Blink Stacker, so he's got that jump as well. Bulba, though, fully completed BKB on the Spirit Breaker. I'm with you on this. They have got every tool at their disposal now. And take that one final jump up onto high ground, because, tier 1s and tier 2s, they don't exist anymore for the Dire. They've all been ripped apart. Jo with Bloodlust. And we were worrying a little bit about his attack speed. Level 1 Bloodlust, though. Whitebeard went for the 4-4-1. Hasn't, put too much credence into maxing out his Bloodlust.
Yeah, it's I mean, Ogre build by like every single player, honestly. But I think this build's okay. I've seen many variations of just 2 points in Ignite for efficiency. I've seen 1 Fire Blast just so you can spam it for the stun. It's an interesting hero. It's gonna be good no matter what you do, I think.
RF grouped up the plane. Hey, no.
Oh, YS.
Oh god, no!
He's isolated. Oh, never mind. 747 is the one that's getting picked.
That's what I was wondering. How do they know that they're coming in? Because the pings came out saying, hey look, there's a smoke over here. I flicked my camera over, and TA was standing there all alone. They wanted to go and defend tier 1. It does still drop, and Fire gets something, but a big loss for the Templar Assassin. She's saving up a ton of gold here, 3,300. Probably, what do you reckon, a BKB here it's not going to be great against Fiend's Grip.
Yeah, it's honestly... It's just one of those games, man. He needs the BKB to keep up his refraction charges from burning out against magic damage, but at the same time, it's just not the right item to carry. She'll need BKB plus more. And I imagine, honestly, she just goes for the crit.
Yeah.
I don't, because if you go BKB, you lose one fight and it's over. Yeah.
That one big hit. Go for the crit, fluff and stuff. Oh goodness, you dead to illusions? It's getting close. Chased down by the Phantom Lancer. Oh boy, and Whitebeard as well. Say goodbye to your man on the plasma field hits. Whitebeard, they're just sending support and support back to base. Jo blinks forward. TC has Aegis.
Holy smokes.
No buyback. Now TC has Aegis. He's tanky. And it was going to be very difficult to kill him there with all of the support behind him. And Jo dead for 50 seconds. I don't see why Digital Chaos don't just try and force buyback at the very least. And the fact that he doesn't have one here. No glyph either. Rat should fall.
Yeah, I think they're just waiting to heal up TC between the urine charges and the cold embrace. And it looks like he has been healed up to an extent. So here it is, the slow siege.
Now they switch the range rack from melee, right? Attack's not coming. TC's still hitting the range, so a little bit afraid that maybe that it's holding on to this tiny buyback to the last second. He jumps himself in. Aegis, there's like a minute left on it, healed up by the cold embrace. There goes the range racks. Susie doesn't really have any way to enter this fight at all. Take building after building. A little force stab from Whitebeard, but it doesn't push him any closer. Yeah, building's taken. No ultis used. They've other strike left on cooldown for another 5 seconds. They can go back in anytime they please. Take it. TC just on the front line, tanking everything up like a boss. He can give up his Aegis now, but doesn't want to. Backs himself away. And we'll heal up with that.
Yep, more than enough damage done by DC. They're taking both the Raxes, and of course, Tiny didn't have to buy back in the end. Well, he didn't end up buying back in the end, but again, look at the net worth that he has to his name. It's 31 minutes, and he's not killing anybody with this right now.
The lead, actually. Still Chaos. At about 13,000 net worth lead here after taking those racks. Full heart done for your Phantom Lancer. Fire. what is your plan? What's the recourse you can do here? Because the line's drawn from the Radiant. An actual aggressive push comes down to bot lane. Stuff Whitebeard bringing up the rear. Vanguard though, Jo on the front lines. And Moon Shadowbladed up actually over in the jungle, looking for anyone, any stragglers trying to farm themselves through.
Probably a little bit disappointed right now. Legion Commander's not a slaughter.
Definitely not. Not the slaughter, and they don't have techies this game either.
Nope.
Slaughter
Yeah, they finally killed a hero. I am so glad.
I don't know. People will still play it.
Oh yeah, but it won't be as potent as it was before, that's for sure.
It won't be as bloody irritating, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I heard there's a bug where you can see remote mines without using any reveal.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Even better buffs for the Quelling Blade counter.
Remote mines are just there, you can see without a gem or a sentry or anything. I don't know if that's
Honestly.
I don't know if that's all the time or in like certain games it bugs out, but I've heard from people that happens.
Honestly, the biggest pardon me.
Love hiding
Yeah, he's camping at the bottom line there, just doing fluff things. He has a blink dagger, I didn't expect that coming out of him.
Picked that up when they were pushing into the high ground, middle lane. Up all this gold, all this savings.
Oh!
Oh god. See him? Seen him. Whitebeard and Fluff, they are isolated and alone. Fluff does not have a TP scroll either, and CC just
Wow.
well, I'll be KB for this. Quiet, but
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I mean, SB had charge, I don't know, I think they could have just... Oh, maybe Fluff might have TP'd out, but really, like, is it not okay for Lina to just TP out and you have BKB for the fight? That's a 10-second BKB, wasn't it?
yeah.
For support Lina, I don't know.
It's a fresh one. Well, Lena's dead for another 20. Group themselves up down in bottom lane. Yawa just shoves mid. Says, deal with this. Try and hold against these super creeps while we go and brute force the tier 3 bot. But TC Aghanims rips through this tower. No problem whatsoever, really. Jo actually burns through a ton of his mana already. Avalanche Toss. Getting hit by a couple of illusions. Doesn't have the combo. Wants to go. Actually, yes, he does. He does have one combo. Wants to go back in. Whitebeard, though, charged. Burnt down. Then the attack. Healing and saving, but not for too long. BKB from Bulb. Okay, that's 2 BKBs now down for DC. Tier 3, okay, it's dropped. But can they push into barracks? They don't even...
Honestly, I think they can, but they might just try to play it super safe. I definitely think they can. They still have big ultimates coming out of Bane and AUI on the Winter Wyvern. But Wyvern also has not only a Solar Crest, but Mech as well. So their team fight's even that much better. Even though it's 34 minutes in. The fact that you can block like Lina Nuke coming out on everybody is a pretty big deal too, so. Here's the fake back coming out of DC. They feinted them out and looks like they're going for the double kill here.
Oh, move. Oh, Fluff. So they see Fluff at the plasma field. There's the Fiend's Grip. Fluff jumps forward, Light Strike Array up onto him. But move. He's already dead. Cow turns back on him and the Frame Stab onto Fluff. 2 heroes dead with no buyback. Tiny last stand here really blinks in with the TA trying to get the hit crit onto Bulba. Not gonna get it. Uzi doing a ton of damage back to DC, but not really gonna be enough. Arctifern will slow. Bulba will go in with a double bash there onto Whitebeard as well. And Jo slowed down a ton. Can't get a single hit off Furyu. Avalanche down, but it's just inevitable. Delaying a little bit here. Fire. They have buyback on the Tiny. But Digital Chaos, they have just shredded this team fight. Bulba, another strike. And yet another kill. Tiny. Lone defense. The G's are coming.
Yeah, I think that's GG. DC honestly not only just outplayed, but their draft plan was like totally catered towards Fire. It was a counter draft more than an out draft. Again, they had a strategy down and they just played it just from the middle lane and the safe lane, not losing too many kills, to off lane getting so much farm and levels. Really good execution.
This before Fire though, right? Where game 1 they go with something funky, you know? Playing Slardar with the techies, this time Legion Commander and safe lane Tiny without a Wisp, but like, I'm